Anyone who knows me knows I'm a big fan of fast food chains. So I've been to a lot of places. I wanted to share my thoughts and experiences on each of them. So Arby's, I've actually never been to. Um, I don't know if that's more of a thing in Canada. I haven't really seen many Arby's. I've definitely seen them around, but I've never seen them on Uber Eats or anything, which really makes it hard for me to go for them because a lot of the time I am ordering food. It's for my night shifts. Next, A&W. I don't like them that much. My friend really likes it, and I go with them a lot to A&W. But I'm only really a fan of the Mama Burger. It sounds weird to say, but I think they use too many spices on the burger, which makes the food like not even taste like meat anymore. It just tastes kind of like something like a curry or a chili because of how many spices and toppings they use, which you think would be like a premium experience, right? But I think it ruins the taste of the burger. And yeah, I could take the toppings off, but then it's just like a more expensive restaurant for like a burger that wasn't even meant to be eaten that way. So I feel like there's other choices for more simplistic fast food burgers. Burger King, I see my friends in the US actually don't like it that much, but I think it's okay. They're a bit overpriced, but I really like the Whopper. And in terms of like value deals, I'm a huge fan of the 10 chicken nuggets for $2 deal. I lived off that in university. I'd buy like 100 nuggets every few days just to like eat over the course of the few days. I'm pretty sure there's no risk of mold because like I would just like leave 100 nuggets out in open air for like 3 days and continuously eat that, and I never had any health issues. I can't say I could recommend it to other people though because there might be health risks, but I was okay with that risk and I really liked their deal on that. The taste was kind of bad, but $2 for 10 nuggets, that's really good because other fast food places here, you typically expect maybe around $7, $8 for 10 nuggets. So you get what you pay for, but it's still an amazing deal. Chipotle, I'm also not a big fan of. I don't really think it really counts as fast food. I really liked it for the first few days I ate it, but then I kind of got tired of all the tastes because there's a lot of spice. It's kind of overbearing, and I don't think I want to eat Mexican food that much anymore. Domino's, I think they're okay. I don't think they're like the greatest, but it's pizza. I like the meat lover stuff, but again, it tastes sort of like overdone. It's not a very good taste compared to some of the other pizza places I have access to right here. Dairy Queen. I think that's a pretty easy A. I mean, like the blizzards are good, a bit overpriced, but they have a good variety. I don't like their ice cream that much compared to McDonald's, but they also have an amazing chicken tender meal deal that I think is really great. I don't think it's the best chicken tender deal, but it tastes really good for the price. And especially if you don't like spicy food, which a lot of people don't like, then Dairy Queen's probably the best option. Five Guys, I'm not a fan of. I think the burger tastes good. It's just that they're overpriced. Their fries are kind of bad though, and they are so greasy. I don't really understand it. It's actually like disgusting to eat. Harvey's, same as A&W, I think it's a bit overpriced. It's actually kind of similar to Burger King, but just a bit more expensive and doesn't have the like 10 nugget options. I think it's closer to A&W where the burgers are a bit too over seasoned and it kind of like takes away from the taste of the beef. Hero Burger. This one's pretty similar to Five Guys. A bit overpriced, way too greasy. The burgers are pretty big actually, so I don't know if I can say they're overpriced, but I feel like if I were to buy like from McDonald's, what I usually do is I buy multiple McDoubles or cheeseburgers. I feel like multiple McDoubles are the same price as one Hero Burger, and the Hero Burger size I feel like is still smaller than multiple McDoubles. And just being honest, I don't like the big burgers because they're really messy to eat. It's super greasy. I'm not a fan of it. I've never heard of this place in my life. I think I've seen it on Uber Eats before, but I'm not really into it. KFC is overpriced. Their menu is pretty bad. If you eat a lot of their chicken, it's super salted. I have no idea what's wrong with them. Like it tastes like chicken, right? But it's just like super salty. I don't know what's wrong with them. The popcorn chicken is good. The Big Crunch and Zinger sandwiches are good. They don't really have any good deals though, so that's why they get this slot. If they had better prices, I would probably move them up higher. I mean, as a kid, I really liked eating the Toonie Tuesday special for like $2 for two pieces of chicken every Tuesday. But inflation, they've raised the price. I think that thing costs like $5 now, and they just call it the Tuesday special now. It's just completely not worth it. Back in the day, they would be like an easy S or A. Now I think they're closer to a B though. Little Caesars is an F. Their pizza is absolutely disgusting. I don't know how people like it so much. It's so greasy. There's so much like burnt particulate matter on them. Like when you try to eat it, it's just like all grease, and at the bottom there's like just like ash or something, like little like burnt crust. It's so disgusting. I don't know if maybe like you guys in the US have better prices on this, but like over here, it's not even like a cheap brand. Like it's not super expensive, but it's still more expensive than our cheap brands that I feel like are better than Little Caesars. I'm just not a fan of them at all. Manchu Wok, never even heard of this. I've never seen one. Mary Brown's, it's pretty generic. Like there's nothing too special about it. It's a bit more expensive than like some of the cheaper chicken places like Popeyes, but it doesn't really taste that different. And I'm more of a fan of spicy chicken. I feel like if you want to go to Mary Brown's, Dairy Queen is a much better spot. McDonald's is the easy S tier. I think they have a very well-rounded menu. I think they have a lot of really good menu items, not very over-seasoned on most stuff. There's some stuff like the spicy McChicken that I'm not a big fan of because the spicy habanero sauce I feel like is a bit too strong in flavor compared to the actual chicken. But overall, I feel like they have a super consistent menu. They have still pretty okay deals on burgers like the Junior Chicken, the McDouble, even if they're sort of overpriced now due to inflation. There's still much better deals than I find other places. And they have a lot of neat menu hacks because of the variety of items they order. Like, for example, you can order the McDouble without any toppings and then order Big Mac sauce for free, and you sort of have like this budget Big Mac. Overall, I'm a very big fan of McDonald's. In terms of stuff like refunds and stuff, they're usually super amicable. One thing I am annoyed about is that they don't have like an in-store refund policy. Like if you go to an individual store, they can't actually refund you, so you have to issue a chargeback on your credit card if they mess up your order. But in all fairness, they do respond with a accept on that pretty quickly, so it's not really that big of a deal. Just a minor inconvenience. Mr. Sub, I've never heard of it before. I will have to say though, I'm not sure if Subway's gonna be on here. I don't think. Oh, they are on here. I'll talk to them later then. I've heard of Mr. Sub before. I've never been. It's usually compared to Subway, and I usually hear people say it's better than Subway, but I don't have a good experience at Subway, so I can't really speak about that. Mucho Burrito, I've had enough of Mexican food. I'm never going there. New York fries, I see it a lot, but because it's always next to KFC, I just go to KFC instead. I have no idea what this is. No idea what this is. Pizza Hut. Okay, I feel like it's a decent price. The pizza is super good at the start, but because of how greasy it is, you feel disgusting as you're about to finish the pizza, and because of how greasy it is, you're like, okay, maybe I'm not gonna order this for a while, but I think it does taste pretty good. It's like the Little Caesars greasy pizza, except it actually tastes good. Pizza Nova, this is the one I've had a lot as a kid. I think like how I would describe it is like the first few slices of Pizza Hut taste amazing, but then because of the grease, the last few taste worse. But I feel that Pizza Nova is a lot more consistent throughout. I'm just not a big fan of how small the serving sizes are, and I think Pizza in general has a better well-rounded menu because I've tried the cheesy breadsticks from these two places before, and they're just straight up worse than the Pizza cheesy breadsticks. However, I will say actually the pizzas are actually kind of bad. Like they taste sort of generic, and I'm not a really big fan of how they re-microwave because like you're gonna have leftover slices, so how they heat up the next day is pretty important to me. But they do have a good menu for like stuff that's not pizza, stuff like their panzerottis, their chicken nuggets. I think their cheesy bread, that's where they're big winners on. Popeyes is one I am super conflicted about because I used to really like them as a kid. They would have been easy S tier back then because I think they had an amazing menu with their chicken nuggets, chicken tenders, the Cajun chicken sandwich, their chicken deals. But over the years, they've started to cut back on the deals. They've changed their menu. They've changed their recipes. For example, the chicken nuggets they have now are way too flavorful. Like not flavorful of chicken flavor with like herbs and spices, and it leans too far away from that chicken taste. And you might be noticing a pattern. If I'm ordering like chicken nuggets or something, I want them to taste like mostly the mechanically separated chicken meat, not the random herbs and spices they're added in. So I think that this is just generally, in my opinion, Chick-fil-A's fault. I think when Chick-fil-A became a knockout success in the US, a lot of chicken places started to copy Chick-fil-A, but I generally feel like that's a bad choice. I'm not a businessman, but like just from my taste bud experience, the Chick-fil-A palette is not to my taste, and these restaurants copying it is super unsatisfactory for me. Popeyes has always given me very generous portion sizes. Like if I ordered 3 tenders, they would just fill it up with whatever, anyways, into the box. Like maybe 5 or 6 tenders until it was completely full. So I'm super thankful for their portion sizes, and their employees are great. But man, I gotta say, their menu choices have been a disaster. The reworked chicken nuggets taste horrible. The new chicken sandwich that copies Chick Fil A instead of their old ones are horrible. I much prefer the Cajun chicken sandwich or even like the intermediary like $2 chicken sandwich that was in there before. In that era, Popeyes would have been easy S. Nowadays, the only thing I order from them are their tenders, which have the same recipe and are still a really good deal. But overall, because of all these stupid changes they've made, I think I'm gonna put them down here. They used to be one of the best, but I think they've gone downhill. Quiznos, I don't know anything about. I don't drink coffee. I don't like poutine. I've never heard of this place. Starbucks is super overpriced. They are not really food either, are they? I don't think they sell much food other than like these sort of snack sandwiches. I'm just not a big fan of this kind of shop. I've ordered a frappuccino on there before, but because I don't really drink caffeine, it still tastes kind of bitter to me, which is like people are surprised by that because they expect like lattes, frappuccinos, and stuff to be more like a snack. But for me, because I never drink coffee, I can still taste the caffeine. They taste slightly bitter to me, so I'm not a fan of it. If you like coffee, I'm sure this would be like way up here, but I don't like coffee, so of course I'm not gonna like a coffee place. Subway, what a horrible restaurant. All their food is so messed up. Their bread gets so damp and soggy. Their ingredients taste overly salted. The portions for their meat are so low. Even inside the filling of their subs, there's like barely anything there. So it tastes mostly just like bread. They mess up your order all the time. I like to have chips with my orders. So when I order like the original flavor chips, it's like this red bag, right? But the problem is ketchup and barbecue are also slightly like brownish red or like bright red, and they always mess it up. So I've been here a few times to get like turkey subs, pizza subs, steak cheese, that kind of stuff. They are just completely horrible. Their prep time is also really high considering what they have to do. Like they don't even have to cook the subs, right? They just like put it in the oven to heat up for a bit. It's super weird why it takes them so long compared to like McDonald's where they have to like cook it from scratch, like the frozen stuff, and then like prep the entire burger, stuff like that. I don't get how Subway is so inefficient, how they get orders wrong so much, how their ingredients are so bad, and how it's still so popular. I have mad beef with Subway. I don't like this place at all. Okay, Swiss Chalet. I think that's another C for me, cause I don't think they're bad. It's just that they're kind of overpriced, and I feel like if you're going for like the sort of fast food restaurant experience, I think just Denny's is straight up better. Their stuff tastes better. Their fries are amazing. Their burgers, even though they're big, are manageable because they give you the fork and knife. So I don't think it's even that bad. It's just Swiss Chalet, I think, is a worse Denny's. Taco Bell I don't really have a problem with either. Like the prices are pretty good. All I order from them is the quesadilla, but all it takes is like one good item for me to keep going back, right? And it helps that they share restaurants with KFC. So like if I want more than just a quesadilla, I can order a good sandwich from them, like the zinger from KFC plus a quesadilla from Taco Bell. It's really nice, and I think that's definitely a plus one for Taco Bell in my experience. Thai Express, I've never heard of before. Tim Hortons. Okay, this is gonna be a story time one. I have a putting Tim Hortons in F, which is gonna be sacrilegious for most Canadians. But okay, first, I don't like coffee. I've had their hot chocolate before, and I think it tastes bad compared to McDonald's hot chocolate. I think if you have both fresh, one of my major issues with McDonald's hot chocolate is that it like separates out very quickly. But if you're just stirring it constantly and having it fresh, I think the McDonald's hot chocolate is legitimately good. Donuts, I think Tim Hortons has better donuts, but even then, it's sort of stale. The donut doesn't really taste like anything. It's mostly just the frosting you're looking for. Even still, because Tim Hortons was like one of the only places near me in my first year of university, I would go to Tim Hortons to order like 12 donuts every morning for breakfast. and then I'd go to Burger King at lunch for 100 chicken nuggets for like 3 days, right? And then I would just eat the 12 donuts, chicken nuggets throughout the day. The problem is that like when I went to Tim Hortons, they told me one time like I was doing this for like 2 weeks, just ordering 12 donuts every morning. And then one day, they told me, "Look, sir, we can't serve you anymore. You're buying too many donuts. We won't have enough for the other customers. So sorry, we can't serve you any more donuts." And I'm like, I come in every day, literally every morning. I think it was like somewhere around 8 a.m. I went to Tim Hortons to buy 12 donuts. Just make 12 donuts. I don't get what's so hard about it. Like, if I just buy more than all your customers combined, like, wouldn't it make logical sense for a business to just serve me? I mean, like, I've always gotten MVP treatment anytime I went to KFC, McDonald's, what else is there? Popeyes, Wendy's. At these four restaurants, the employees always recognize me. They always know my order. They're always so sorry if they ever mess up. Tim Hortons, I go there for 2 weeks, order more donuts than anyone else combined in the morning, and they decide to ban me? They treat me like shit? No, fuck Tim Hortons. Tim Hortons is such a shit place. Never go here. Fuck them. So Valentine's, I've never heard of this place. Wendy's, I think is another. I don't know what they're from S or A. I think closer to A. One of the main reasons I don't like Wendy's so much as McDonald's is I feel like they have a weak option for like budget chicken menu. For example, if you go to McDonald's, you can buy the junior chicken, but there's no real equivalent for Wendy's. You'd have to buy their chicken sandwich, like the crispy chicken sandwich or the grilled chicken sandwich. That's costs around I think $7, whereas the junior chicken is only around $3. Now that being said, I think the McFlurry and Frosty are pretty close contenders. I'm not sure which one I like more. It depends on the mood. The beef burgers at Wendy's I feel are just superior. The cheesy burger that costs like $2 is so much better than the McDonald's cheeseburger that costs $2. It feels like you get more food too. The Dave's single, double, junior, triple, whatever you call them, that entire line of burgers, they all taste the same. They're all the same thing, but I feel like they're better than the Big Mac too. Although I'm in a Big Mac mood sometimes. I feel like Wendy's is a mostly strong menu. It's just that they're lacking that really cheap budget option for the chicken burgers, but I'm a big fan of their cheesy burger for $2. So looking at my entire list, I think the only thing I'd change is I'd move Popeyes up one, just because they still have like the one tender thing I'd want to order, whereas these ones I'm like I don't hate them, but I wouldn't want to order from them anyways unless my friends were going there. Whereas Popeyes, I still order the tender combo pretty frequently. Same for like KFC, I only really order one or two things from there. Pizza, I mean, I only order like one thing from these places, right? Because they're just pizza chains. Pizza, I order a bit more, but still, it's not that much because I don't prefer it compared to like with the Wendy's cheeseburgers with the Dairy Queen tenders, or like the McDonald's just menu in general, where I think it's the best of everything. Burger King, I think they're okay. They have an okay chicken menu. It's comparable to Wendy's. Whopper is really good too. They just lack the budget options. I mean, they have the 10 chicken nuggets, but like, just being honest, I bought that because it's easy to buy in bulk and eat throughout the week, not because it really tastes good. Whereas like the Wendy's cheeseburgers or like the McDonald's Junior Chicken just generally taste good. So let me know what you guys think, and just remember, I hate Tim Hortons. Like, if you guys go here, I think you're actually getting scammed and just supporting like the worst fast food company that I've ever been to. Bye bye.